there, welcome back to the homestead. I thought I would give you guys an update on how things are going from the other day. Scott is out back picking up branches that we didn't get a chance to pick up when we were doing all of the wood chips in the garden. The garden is looking wonderful. I fertilized onions last night, so I wanted to show you guys how everything was looking and growing. Scott's got the fire going, and I thought we would just do a little walkabout together today. Oh, it feels so good to have that stuff burned down. You know how when you have like a bigger fire pit like this, and then you pile on branches, pile on, sticks and twigs from the yard, and then it just kind of conglomerates into a big pile? We had that. So it's so nice to just have this done and taken care of, because from the deck we're looking out and I want to see the garden. I want to see, the rocks from the fire pit. I don't want to see a big pile of brush that we need to burn, But anyway, the garden looks amazing with the wood chips, you guys. It cleans it up so nice. It defines the bed so nice. It just kind of gives it a finished look, And little by little, we will go around and pick rocks and we will line all the beds. But it is looking so great. All of Scott's little seedlings are growing. I have beets, tons and tons of beets growing. Look at all here, let me go on the other side so you don't see my shadow. There we go. Look at all the little volunteer tomato plants we have. There is a bunch over here. Look at them. Those are all volunteer tomato plants from last year. We had, I think, Roma tomatoes on this end, and when the tomato falls on the ground and it kind of starts breaking down, the seeds go into the ground. I should really get in here and pick them up, but look at how fun. They're just everywhere. We'll probably come through and pull them out. We won't let them grow to full term because we have a bunch of tomatoes, but I thought that was kind of funny. We have beans. We had radishes here that didn't take. I think the seeds were really old, but these two lines are doing really well. I'll have to come in and thin them out. The carrots are finally starting to take off. See the little baby carrots starting to pop up out of the ground? That's fun. And then over here, he planted a second succession of beans. See the little beans popping out? And then over here, we have some that are already rocking and rolling. And then we have the dill. All my little caterpillars are gone. I checked this morning and there was one little guy in here, but I think he was on his way out too. I think they are done eating and they are going to build their cocoons. They were pretty big in size. They ate, oh look what I spotted. They ate everything they needed to eat. Can you see them? There he is. See him in my shadow? He's pretty big. He'll probably be leaving soon. But I wanted to show you guys this dill right here in front. I pulled up from the walking path. The walking path is right there where all the wood chips are. I pulled it up and transplanted it, and I watered it 2 days in a row. I watered it when I transplanted it, and I watered it again this morning. And look, it worked. I didn't think you could transplant dill, but I had some really good roots on it. So it perked up and it's coming back. I think I'll trim it down and see if it will give me like another flush of dill. But that was pretty exciting. Let's see, what else do we have going on here? Down here, I took a bunch of, like a box of zinnia seeds, and I just threw them in the dirt, and look, those took sprout, and they're gonna, this whole end of this bed will be zinnia seeds, so that is super fun. Scott planted cucumbers, and they are sprouting and starting to grow. All the peppers and onions are doing well. I'm pretty excited about that. Down here I planted some cucamelons, and I don't know, I've never grown them, so I don't know what their little sprout looks like, but I've been watering this patch every single day, and all of these little green things are starting to pop up. Now I know that I did it in a straight line, so I kind of know where they are. So I've been coming in and just kind of pulling these little seedlings out because I know that they're a weed, but I don't want to get too close to where I planted them because I don't know what they look like, because this is my first year. So I'll keep you posted on that. All the corn. Oh, here comes Scott with a big load of branches that we were supposed to do the other day. He's bringing over and he's gonna burn up. Oh, he's getting caught in the fence. Oh no. And we just threw this little fence up because the deer were coming in. I will show you when he gets done. The deer were coming in and they were eating the tops off of our corn. You got stuck on the fence, babe.
I see that. I got him to go up high enough.
Got to lift the box up a little bit,
Yep.
or the forks,
Yep.
or break it.
I'll lift it up too.
That's awesome. You're getting that whole corner cleaned out. I love it.
Yeah, it's slow but sure. We're getting there.
And then we'll be able to trim a little bit closer to the pond. So that tree fell down, I think last winter or the winter before. And Scott cut it up and then we just kind of left it lay. So he is going to burn all of that extra brush up. The one nice thing about having a huge bonfire pit is that you can come in and just put stuff on it. This is kind of the overflow garden where we have potatoes, zucchini, all my onions. I watered and fertilized last night. I made a short. I just used organic fertilizer I had on hand. And then we have corn. And look at how tall it is already. You know the adage, knee high by the 4th of July? I think we might make it. So let me show you why we put up this little fence. We have deer in the back. You know, we live in the country. We have deer, raccoons, possum, foxes, coyotes, all that stuff. But the friendly little neighborhood deer decided to come in one night and have themselves a little snacky poo. And they ate off the tops of the corn. They did some over here too. See, it's supposed to look like that. Some of them look like that. They'll still grow. They just might be a little behind. But doesn't that look great? And then I wanted to show you, look over here, on my zucchini plant when I was out here fertilizing last night, fertilizing the onions. Look at my zucchini plant. I have little baby zucchini. Isn't that fun? Do you guys know how to tell the difference between a female blossom and a male blossom? Let me show you. A female blossom will always have a little baby fruit like this. It'll always have a little baby fruit connected to it. A male blossom will just have a stem like that. See, there's no fruit connected to it. Here is a male. Here is a male. Let me see if I can find a female that has a tinier, a smaller little fruit on it. Let's come around here. Let me see if I can find a blossom. Oh, here we go, down here, look at, see that right there? That is a baby zucchini. That will be a female blossom. And then this right here is a male blossom. See the difference? Isn't that cool? And then they fertilize, the male fertilizes the female, and that's how you get little baby zucchini or squash or watermelon, any kind of vining plant like this. I think that's how it works. Isn't that neat? And do you know that you can eat the male blossom? If you come in and you pick the male blossom like this, you can cook it up and you can eat it. It's edible. I've never done it, but I thought that was kind of a fun little fact. All of my little flower containers are doing great. My millet is thriving. This is a new to me plant this year that I just started planting, but my containers are looking great. They're loving it out here in the sun. My tiny little herb garden is doing great. I wanted to walk over here and show you. It might be a tight squeeze because of this fence. My poppies and this other container garden is doing great. Snapdragons, King Coleus, the King Tut umbrella grass, my sunflowers. Look, my sunflowers are starting to form. They have buds, so they'll be popping open pretty quick. My snapdragons are going on round 2. And then over here, I have some little cosmos that I just popped in the ground. And then I have some chamomile. Isn't that fun? And then over here, these containers are doing great. I popped in some zinnias and I watered them. And then I think it splashed up on the leaves and it's getting a little bit of a disease looking on it. So I'll have to spray it with something, help it along. But everything is looking fantastic. Let's see if we can pop over here by Scott without getting tripped up on this stuff. There we go. And this is kind of the back end of the DZ that we are slowly cleaning up, and we will continue to make our garden. We have a greenhouse that is going to go over there. Scott got me for Christmas and birthday and Mother's Day and all the things. And then we have a hoop house that we got from Scott's school. They donated it to us because they took it down and they were getting rid of it. So we were lucky enough to get a hold of it. So then that will go along this back part here once we get all this debris and stuff cleaned up. And then this all will be a part of the garden area. Little by little, we're getting there. Look at how far we've come in 2 years. We have the front part done. So now the next 2 years, we'll get this back part done. It's looking great. This Right here where this opening is, it was all rocks and dirt and trees and brush and overgrown weeds and like stuff like that. And the trees were growing up in it like that. So we slowly started cleaning it out, and look at how far we've come already. That's pretty awesome. Scott is cleaning out this corner here. So now we can come in, once he gets all of this brush out of here, we can come in and we can just cut it right up along the pond, and we can make this opening a lot bigger. And that'll be nice for the tractor, the trailer, the compost, the wheelbarrow, all that kind of stuff, right?
All the stuff.
Yeah, it's great. You're doing a good job, babe. Keep up the good work.
It's a nice day to work outside. So.
It's beautiful out today. Little breeze, not too sunny, not too hot.
Yep.
Look at this. Scott got it all cleaned up, and he got all of the branches and the tree out of here. He said there were 2 trees in here, but he got it all cleaned up, and then he came in with the mower and he mowed it, and he brought it almost equal with the pond, like where the ridge of the pond meets the grass. I want to show you how much space we've gained. So this is the original path from here to here, and look at, he opened up all of this area. We almost doubled the path size. And now from here to here, from here will be all grass once this grows back. And it opened up this whole area for more grass. Isn't that great? We were supposed to do this in my last video on Father's Day, but we did mulch, which I showed you in the beginning of the video. We did mulch in the garden, and it took all day. So he did not get a chance to get over here and do it. So he did it today. Oh my gosh, I think it looks so good. It, like, when we clean up areas like this on our homestead and we remove debris, trees, sticks, weeds, stuff like that, it always feels just a little bit lighter here. And this is like, it can breathe. And I love that feeling. So he worked really hard today on getting that area cleaned up. So I'm pretty proud of him. Let's walk through here and check on the chickens. We're gonna put the chickens in here. We're gonna move that burning barrel. That's where we burn like all our cardboard boxes and stuff. We're gonna put the chickens in here and let them clean out this whole area and dig up the weeds and fertilize the ground. Oh, it's gonna be great. So it's kind of nice to be able to walk through. And we're gonna pull them in here probably Thursday or Friday of this week. Today I think is Tuesday. Crazy Lisa. Look at her. She's... Oh, hello, Roy. Crazy Lisa is the one with the white pom-pom on top of her head. I named her Crazy Lisa after my best friend. She has really short hair and she kind of poofs it out like that. And I told her one day, this chicken is crazy, man. Look at her hair. And she's like, oh, she looks like me. And I said, yep, she's Crazy Lisa. And the name stuck. Isn't that funny? She is a good girl, though. All the chickens. Oh, look at all the geese and the ducks are laying in the shade, taking a little morning siesta. Blue's gonna start honking probably. Hi, Blue. Hi, babies. You're fine. Scott came in here yesterday and cut down all the grass and made it a little bit more manicured for them. So he always cuts it down into the pond. And I said, why do you do that? Because that's how they escape. See that little path right there? Right there? They go in there and swim, and then they swim across. And then Blue just takes the girls on little adventures. Hopefully he won't do that anymore because the pond the weeds are growing and the weeds get really thick so they can't swim. But in the springtime, he takes his girls and they go on little adventures in the back of the property. We have our compost and stuff back there. So he likes to go back there and poke around. And then sometimes he needs to get grounded and he needs to stay in his run for a couple of days so he remembers where home is. He's like a teenager. The ducks are just chilling out, having a great morning. There's Cher back there. I named her Cher because she's a crested Indian runner and she's got a little poof on the top of her head and it goes wonky. So I named her Cher. I had a gray one named Madonna, but I think a coyote came in and took her. So she is my last Indian runner, crested. She's so cute though. I just love mornings like this. It's cool out, the sun is shining, there's a little bit of a breeze, the temperature isn't too hot yet, and we can just be out in the yard and pitter-patter around and get chores done and do little things and not get overheated. Like, days like these are my absolute favorite. Speaking of chores, I have not been in the driveway garden in forever. I've been putting all of my attention into the vegetable garden, so the driveway garden has taken a back burner. But everything is growing in and looking so nice. I need to come in here and weed. There's a couple of plants that I want to move. And then I started, Scott, oh, look at, oh, how pretty, my wild geranium blossoming. I have a redesign that I want to do in the front of the garden, and Scott put up my little trellis for me yesterday. So I should be able to get in here. Hopefully this coming week, I will be able to get in here and start moving stuff around and just tidying up a little bit, pulling weeds. See? Let me show you the front. Here is the front. I repositioned this path. The path opening used to be right here. So I repositioned the path so we could walk straight down and see the bird bath. I'm sorry if the sun isn't great right now. But see how it lines up? I need to straighten them, like align them a little bit better. But then I have two little boxwoods that I'm gonna flank this trellis. It's just a cheap old trellis I got off of Amazon. And I am going to plant morning glories on one side, and then I have a clematis to put in the other side. But I thought that would just kind of clean this area up a little bit. And then I want to redesign this part. This part is just kind of, let me see if I can get you in the shade. There we go. It has just a menagerie of plants and I'm not crazy about it. So I want to rework this and then put like a little fairy garden down here, because if you look, this is the entryway to the daycare entrance. And I thought that it would just be so cute to have like a little fairy garden right there for when the daycare kids and their parents come and go. That would be like a fun little addition. And then up here, I didn't do much up here this year. In these little pots, I just have some impatiens. And then over here, I have some wax begonias. Aren't they pretty? Look at that color. And then I have another one over here, the Impatience. And then over here I have some wax begonias. Gosh, that color is so pretty. And then I just got a new rug, a new wreath, and then I got some fake plants. That adds such a nice pop of color, doesn't it? And then I just got that little mushroom guy. But yeah, that is it for the daycare entrance. I didn't do a ton. I need to come in here and rework these beds. Let me show you. I have these poles are going to get replaced. I have white spindly ones, but I need to sand them down and paint them. But then these green ones will get replaced. And then I will rework these front beds to make them just a little bit more cottagey looking. But for now, that's it. Kind of blah. But for what I need it for, it works, I guess. You know, the daycare parents are in and out so fast, they don't really care, you know. So I think that's it for all the updates that I have today, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me for this tiny little update video. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I hope that you get outside and you get in your gardens. And I hope to see you soon. Bye, friends.